What's good, everyone? Welcome to another edition of Livewire Sports Media. This is your Thursday cool down edition. So it looks like we have update on Caitlin's Clark injury and a possibility when she may return. Now, per Underdog and Alex Filippo of ESPN, it looks like she could return next Tuesday against Atlanta Dream down in Atlanta. Um, but that's a possibility. We don't know for sure yet. But Caitlin Clark did take to the media today and address them how things has been going on with her rehab and what she's been doing and everything. So per clip of the Indiana Fever, here it is, Caitlin Clark's update.
Excited to get back out there eventually, but yeah.
This is the first time you've been out for an extended period, I think, in your college and pro career. Just what has that been like mentally for you?
I think it's been different. I think just having good perspective is the best way to approach it. Like, yeah, you can be frustrated and whatnot, but, I think the medical team has done a really good job of, doing my rehab every single day, staying in a routine, coming in, getting shots up. But more than anything, I think just focusing on being a really good teammate, being there for my teammates, being a voice for them, because that's what I am when I'm playing. So you got to still be that consistent voice when I'm sitting on the bench. So I try to do that as much as I can for them. And just try to be there for them, I think, has been my focus. And I think that can kind of distract you from not actually playing, is when you just focus on your teammates and, how can I serve them and help them.
Jeff has talked about, this being a good opportunity for you to learn from the bench and learn from the coaching staff sitting by them at games. Just what have you learned from that?
Yeah, I think it's a unique perspective, when you're out there playing and actually in the heat of the moment, you don't always realize everything. You don't always see everything. You see things from a different perspective that maybe the coaching staff didn't see. So it's certainly different. So I'm trying to, kind of be that connector between the coaches and then my teammates at the same time, whether, that's in the locker room at halftime, whether that's during timeouts of, things I see from the bench that maybe might be a little bit different of a perspective than maybe our point guard is seeing or, anybody on the floor is seeing. But yeah, I think it's taught me a lot. I've never been in that position before of like actually getting to watch from the bench for an extended period of time. So I think you can learn the game of basketball just the same amount. It's like the same as like, you turn on the TV and watch the NBA or you watch other WNBA games. Like that's the best way to learn basketball, is like just watch and absorb it. And it's the same when, I'm not active too.
What are the next steps for you to work your way back? Is there a certain threshold you're looking to reach, a certain time you're going to be reevaluated?
Yeah, I'll be reevaluated this weekend, so I'll miss this weekend's game. But after that, it's, day by day and see how I feel and just kind of turn to the medical staff and what they think. But I feel like I've made a lot of progress and I feel good and, I'm not going to rush coming back. It's just not worth it. But, after this weekend, I'll be reevaluated and we'll have a better idea of when I'll return.
Could Tuesday be a possibility? Or?
We'll see. I think, we're trying not to put like an exact date out there because it is kind of a day-by-day thing and see how I feel. And, this type of injury, like you don't know when I wake up, I'll feel different than the day before, and we'll see. It could be a possibility, but I could also not be available for that game too.
Taylor, just in life itself, how patient are you?
Not a very patient person, no.
How has this kind of tested that?
Yeah, I think it's an opportunity to grow, right? Just try to approach it in the best way I can. It's certainly weird. I think at times the hardest part is like just not being able to be involved in practice. Like I love practice. Not a ton of people always enjoy like coming to practice every single day, but that's something I like really enjoy. Like I really enjoy coming out here and like competing every single day with my teammates. Like that's probably honestly what I miss most. Obviously I miss the games. That goes for anybody that's ever hurt, but like I love practice. I love getting better. So I think that's just kind of been the time for me to like really find some patience, and I've never been a patient person my entire life. So this has definitely tested me a little bit, but I think it's going to be really good for me. And like I said, I've just tried to approach it in the best way I possibly can. I can't change it. And, but yeah, I think my patience has definitely grown a lot. And like I said, just trying to grow and learn. And I think I've certainly done that.
Is this an injury that happened during a game or anything? Or is it just something that was lingering that popped up? Or?
It happened in the Liberty game. Yeah.
Were you able to pinpoint the time in the Liberty game that happened, or you were just?
No, definitely early in the game, but I couldn't tell you the exact play something occurred on, and could have occurred over the course of the game too. And then obviously adrenaline like covers up a lot of stuff when you're in the heat of battle. And after the game, I had some pain, and then got an MRI, and that kind of gave me the result that I didn't want to see. But, you know, those type of things don't lie. So, yeah.
Just watching the ups and downs the team's been through the last few weeks. I mean, what have you seen from them, especially as they rallied with the coming back there?
Yeah, I think they've been really, really resilient. You know, it's hard when your point guard goes out that controls a lot of the game, and, you know, people have kind of had to step into positions that maybe they haven't had. And, you know, I think just giving themselves grace. Like, you know, things aren't going to be perfect. We're kind of playing a little bit different than we would probably play if I had the ball in my hands. I thought we played a really great game. Our last game versus the Mystics, I thought we were really good. I thought we started to flow a little bit better on offense. We played with a little more pace. But it wasn't just offense. I thought we could have played a lot better defensively. So I think just those little areas that we could have cleaned up that, you know, whether I'm out there or not, like those are things that we could, you know, do better and be better in. And Steph has really challenged them. And I thought we've had great intensity in our practices. So that's been, you know, awesome to see. But I think everybody's kind of just stepped up and, you know, adjusted to it. And yeah, I'm just really proud of them for staying resilient and really just battling, and happy we beat the Mystics, but now, you know, focusing on Chicago and hopefully getting a win there too.
What have you seen from Erie kind of coming in on Sunday, having 2 days, and then
Yeah.
on Tuesday?
Well, I could tell before her first practice, she definitely watched some film. She knew exactly what we were doing on offense. She knew defense, but also that just speaks to like her time in the league and understanding, you know, how you play in this league. You know, she's competitive. Hey, Aaliyah. She's competitive. She's aggressive. She's physical. Obviously, she's guarded me when she was on the Sparks last year. She just brings a different energy and tenacity, and that's something I think we really needed. She got us into our offense well. So just really impressed with her. I thought she did a tremendous job, honestly.
All right, so you got to listen and hear what Caitlin Clark had to say about Ari McDonald and what she brought to the team and how they was able to secure that win against the Mystics. And you also got to hear Caitlin Clark talk about she's not a pacing person. And if you looked at that video, you could tell how she was pacing back and forth and anxious. She is ready to play. She is ready to return. But take note from what she just said. She's not putting a date on when she will return, because you got to think about this. If she put a date when she will return, or they put out what game she will return. Now, like I alluded to early on in the video, that Underdog and per Alex Filippolo, they said Tuesday, and that's the Atlanta game. Now, she might not even play that Atlanta game. Some speculated even that she could return for the New York Liberty game, which that will be another home game for the Indiana Fever. Now, but we all know now that she's day to day. She will get reevaluated over the weekend, and then it will go from there. Now, again, she could miss the Atlanta game, and she could miss the New York game and come back against Connecticut Sun. So there's a possibility. So there's no timetable really when she return, even though reports out there say, oh, it's Tuesday. But again, it might not be Tuesday. So it's smart that they didn't put a date on it, because teams will be trying to gear up. Then ticket sales going to jack up higher. You know, people going to be rushing to the gates. They're going to be like, oh, she's coming back, the return of Caitlin Clark, boom, 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 whatever the case might be. But you could tell Caitlin Clark is ready to play. She wants to be back out there. She wants to contribute to the team. She feel like now that you got Eric McDonald on the team, that she could come back. You know, Sophie's gonna probably be out for a little bit, but say, hey, we don't need to rush her either. Sophie could come back probably next week as well, probably towards the end of next week, depending on her progress. So you have to make some decisions, and I hope we do keep Ari McDonald. We don't cut her, you know, because we will be losing Dantas towards the end of the month for about 4 games, and we're going to need somebody in that spot. So great update with Caitlin Clark and her injury progress. Hopefully we see her sometime next week between the Atlanta game or the Connecticut game. So them the 3 games. So right now she's progressing well. She's taking her time, but you can tell in her eyes, you can hear it in her voice. She's ready to return to the court. This is Livewire Sports Media. This is your Thursday cool down edition. Hey, Like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell anytime I drop a hardcore video. You know what it is. And if you don't know, now you know.
Hey, so amazing. You see how they playing? Live wire. It's all about sports and entertainment. You don't want to miss it. So official, like you never seen. Keep it going till the whistle blowing from the referee. Everything from highlights and stats. You know that we gotta run it back, whether on the field or the court. You know that this is where it's at. Subscribe, no delaying. This is Live Wire. Sports and entertainment. Let's go.